No, kangaroos don't do that. They don't eat meat. I said, no, they're not carnivores. They just attack humans. They're really vicious. And he goes, no, again, trying to be clever. No, kangaroos don't do that. I mean, I've had friends that have been to the Australia Zoo and I've seen photos of them patting them. They're a peaceful animal. I said, mate, the ones at the zoo, they're drugged, they're sedated. Pat them all you want. But if you see one in the wild, you have to run. And this is when it sort of clicked. You go, are you serious? I said, yeah, man, that's why we've got them on our coins, on our crest. We fear these animals. That's, they're aggressive. They're one of our biggest killers. And he goes, I didn't even know that. I said, yeah, it's rough. And he said, can I put this in my newspaper? I should have said no. I'm like, yeah, go for it, put it in there. Anyway, came back from Athens. We had the welcoming home parade. So it was great to see all the public there supporting us and cheering us on. Really cool. Get this phone call from Swimming Australia and they say, come into the office. I thought, it's a Sunday. They want me to come into the office. Haven't been misbehaving. This is good. Maybe, a pair of free bathers or another trip. Wow, this is exciting. Went to the Swimming Australia office in Homebush. Opened the door. There was a receptionist there working on the Sunday. I'm like, oh, they've got the receptionist on Sunday for me too. This must be big. She said, oh, they're up in the boardroom waiting for you. I'm thinking, the boardroom? This is getting even better. Went up to the boardroom, went into a room probably half the size of this stage, big wooden table going down the middle. These guys in suits sitting around either side of the table, not saying a word. At the end of the table, there's a big TV with a webcam on top of it, and it started to get really weird. I'm thinking, why aren't these guys saying anything? Do they want to make a weird film or something? Like, what's... Anyway, without saying a word, one of them throws this newspaper across the table, and I pick it up and it says Idaho News, which is a town in America. And the opening gambit, the headline was, Australian boy makes comeback after kangaroo attack. So Sherlock Holmes has gone back to America and he's put it in this newspaper without doing any research, and basically it's backfired. He didn't take the sharpest tool in the shed to go, no, kangaroos don't do that, they're a really peaceful animal. So he's obviously been very embarrassed. He's called up the Swimming Australia to get in contact with me. So the reason for the TV was it was like a telecommunication apology thing, like through Skype, and his face popped up. I laughed even more, I got in more trouble. But I was banned from speaking to the media from the American media indefinitely. I do a bit of speaking gigs on SCN on the radio, and if there's any American athlete, especially during the Sochi Games, there was a few that we interviewed, I wasn't allowed to say a word. So quite aggravating, but something was worth it. Again, more things where you can have fun with a disability. Anyway, after Athens, it was a pretty confusing time for me because I was still at school, still 100% committed to the swimming thing, beating the guys. And I was travelling up about 6 or 7 different countries a year, beating the guys that beat me in Athens in that final by body lengths. Getting the gold medal, broke the world record twice more. But no matter how well I did, that chip on my shoulder was still there. That, what happened in Athens? Why couldn't I do this where it mattered, at the pinnacle of my sport, at the Paralympics? What went wrong? This was answered for me 2 years later, and this is where this circle comes full circle about, never losing focus, always soak up the atmosphere, that sort of stuff, never get ahead of yourself. And it was the Commonwealth Games, which are here in Melbourne, and we're with the able-bodied team, so it was great to be with some of, Clemmy and Ian Thorpe and all those guys. Kathy Freeman spoke to us. She'd retired by then, but she spoke to the team collectively. After her speech, I thought, look, this is Kathy Freeman, one of our greatest athletes. She must have some secrets to success. I approached her and I said, Kathy, my name's Sam. I'm in the middle of my career. I'm 18 years old. What are some tips you can give me? She said, yeah, I can help you. I had my little Telstra notepad out ready to go. And she said, train hard. I thought, oh, train hard. Didn't know that one. Oh, just write that one down there. I said, no, come on, like a real secret to success. What have you got? She goes, I understand what you're saying. Eat healthy. I thought, ooh, another good one. Eat healthy. Didn't know that one either. I said, come on, Kathy, like a real secret to success, something only you know. Just pass me something I can use here. She said, I know what you mean. Stay focused, soak up the atmosphere. I thought, no, got nothing from that. Went back to the hotel room, laid down on the bed. That last point she said, stay focused, soak up the atmosphere, was really resonating with me. It was going over and over and over in my head. And like a slap in the face, it took me back to Athens. It reminded me of 2 swims, my swim and Puff Puff swim. Now, Puff Puff, the story behind Puff Puff, when we were in the village, I'll explain about his story first and his swim. When we were in the village, we'd go to the food hall every day, breakfast, lunch and dinner for 2.5 weeks. Every day without fail, breakfast, lunch and dinner, there'd be this one-armed Chinese guy smoking ciggies at the front of the food court. Now, to see someone smoke cigarettes in the Olympic Village, which is like the pinnacle of health and fitness and eliteness, it's pretty rare. So we thought, okay, he must be an ex-athlete or a one-arm physio even, or an advisor. I mean, you can't smoke and compete at this level. I mean, you'd blow your lungs apart. Anyway, we nicknamed him Puff Puff because he's always puffing away on his cigarettes. And we'd even wave to him. We'd go, hey, Puff Puff, and he'd wave back with his shorter arm like that. So we made a buddy. Anyway, on the last day of competition, we were watching the 100-metre freestyle, which is the biggest event in Paralympic swimming. We're not fast enough to compete in it. Well, I wasn't. We had one Australian, he bombed out. Heat 1, the slowest heat. And there was about 23 heats as well, so we wanted to watch the whole thing. It's that competitive. Heat 1, the slowest heat, walks out, and there's about 35,000 people in the crowd. You know, we're cheering on. Out they walk, in lane 8, the slowest lane, out walks out this familiar Chinese guy. We're going, man, that's Puff Puff. We're going, oh, that's his job. He helps people get into the water, or he's announcing that someone's scratched. I mean, he's not going to swim. I mean, how stupid. Anyway, they blow the whistle. He comes up to the block. He unzips his tracksuit. He's wearing the Chinese Speedos. We're thinking, wow, okay, this race just went from the most boring to the most interesting because someone's going to drown at the Paralympics. This guy's not going to finish. Anyway, let's stuff it. Let's watch it. We're sitting on the edge of our seats. They get up on the block. Before the starter can shoot the gun, Puff Puff gets up with his shorter arm and his longer arm goes like this to that side of the crowd. Then he goes to that side of the crowd. Before we know it, the whole crowd is up roaring for this guy, like cheering. The Chinese team are going berserk. We thought stuff, you know, he's going to drown in 15 seconds. Let's give him a clap, you know, cheer him on. They usher down the crowd. Gun goes off. They dive in, as suspected. Puff Puff, nah, these guys power down at a pretty fast pace. They tumble turn for the first 50. Yeah, I know. Puff Puff tumble turns for the first 50. He's slow. He comes back for the second 50. He's about 10 metres behind. We thought, look, at least he's going to finish the race. This is a pretty good effort. I mean, he could have drowned, but he hasn't. This is good, I guess. Anyway, in that last 25 metres of the race, this Puff Puff kick engages. This bang, 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 this powerful kick out the back. This little arm going around like a motorboat rudder, just around the thing. His long arm really ripping through the water like that. Catches up a metre, another metre, gets in front, touches in with world record in fastest for that night. So we're now sitting there like this. All right, that's a fluke. He has to come back in tonight and do it again. What are we kidding? He's probably blown that many holes in his lungs. He's not going to make it back in. But look, benefit of the doubt. Went back to the village, came back in more prepared. We've got our shirts off. We've got Puff Puff written on our stomachs. We've got those big inflatable things that you whack together and make a noise. We've painted them like cigarettes so there was something familiar for him in the crowd. We even sat with the Chinese team because we wanted to see our new hero get up there. Anyway, they had all the other events. Finally, the final for the 100-metre freestyle comes out and we're so excited. We're banging these cigarettes together. We've got Puff Puff, we're pointing at it. They all walk out, Puff Puff in lane 4, the fastest lane with some pretty big guys. These guys are like one-arm, one-legged Arnold Schwarzenegger-looking guys. You can hear them growling. That's how angry they were at this new guy. He's 2 foot nothing. These guys are almost 6 foot. I mean, they dive in, push him out with their weight. That's how much bigger than they were. They get him behind the block. They get up. Before the gun go off, Puff Puff gets up, does the same thing. Little arm to this side of the crowd. Then to this side of the crowd. The whole crowd is roaring. There's like 45,000 people in the crowd just screaming. We're going crazy as well with the cigarettes, trying to get him to see it. We wanted to acknowledge us because we're friends with him. Anyway, they usher down the crowd. Gun goes off. In they go. As suspected, Puff Puff with the fastest guys in the world, forget about it. They power down with lightning pace. Puff Puff putts away down that first one. They tumble turn for the first 50. Puff Puff tumble turns his first 50. They come back. He's about 15 metres behind. No chance catching these guys. They're going at such a pace in the last 40 metres of the race. So straight out of his streamline, gets out. Bang, 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 bang. Powerful Puff Puff kick. Little arm going crazy like that motorboat rudder. Long arm ripping through. 1, 2. Catches up a metre. Still about 5 metres behind. A metre. Just taps in first. Even faster world record, gold medal. Now, the crowd is going crazy. They're half confused because I've never seen this guy before. They're going crazy. The Chinese team is saying stuff I'll never understand. My mates are cacking themselves laughing, but I was sitting there going, you know, how unfair. I mean, I broke the world record in my heat. Why couldn't I do it in the final? I don't smoke or anything like that. I mean, why couldn't I do it? 2 years later, laying in the bed, thinking about what Kathy Freeman said, stay focused, soak up the atmosphere. It's like a slap in the face, took me back to my swim. I thought about my swims in Sydney at the trials, thought about my heat swim and my final swim in Athens. Now, there's a huge difference. My heat and final swim in Beijing, in the Sydney trials, I was focused. I dived in the water and I knew what I had to do. My tight streamline, break out, hit the wall, come back nice and hard, save energy, really power home. I also soaked up the atmosphere. I waved to mum and dad. I waved to my swimming club. I acknowledged my environment that I was in. Now, I don't know what it was, but there was an emotional reason there why I wanted to do well. Whether it was I didn't want to let my parents down, I didn't want to go slow in front of them. I wanted to show off in front of my mates. That did something for me. That's what charged me across the line. Couch that with being focused in the water. Did the same thing in the heats in Athens. I waved to mum and dad, waved to the Australian team, got up, dived in, thought about my race as well, got the chocolates at the end of the day, got the world record. Come the final, I lost sight of all of that. I didn't wave to the crowd. I definitely didn't focus in the water. The only thing that I thought about was this gold medal that I didn't even have yet. And as a result of that, I cost my country a gold medal and, more importantly, myself a gold medal, something that was so within my reach. Now, we look at Puff Puff. Now, I'm not saying start up smoking and you'll be the best swimmer in the world. But if we look at Puff Puff, this guy was obviously focused because he, to switch on in that back-end 50, it was deceiving for the other athletes. But that was his race plan. It worked for him, and it definitely worked. But he also soaked up the atmosphere. He used the crowd's energy to get himself across the line. He used everything that he could to succeed. I'll never get up on the block and beat my chest or clap my hands. If no one gets up, it'd be really embarrassing. But I learned a lot from Puff Puff. Every competition that I've been in since, I have a packet of cigarettes before now, I acknowledge the crowd. I always stay focused. I think about my game plan no matter how well I do. Competitions since then, even getting to the Beijing Paralympics, competitions since then, no matter how well I do in the heats, if I break the world record by a second or two, I go in just as hard in the final. In fact, I go in like I'm second best. And that's the best thing about sport. It's unpredictable. You don't know who's going to nip you in the butt and take your spot. But that's what keeps you sharp. It's supposed to be hard. Getting to that elite level is going to be hard. But that's what separates the breakers from the world record breakers. That's what separates the hard workers from the knots. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If you do want to get to that stage, work your ass off. Consistency rewards consistency. Now, I was the worst trainer in the world. I used to hate training. I used to loathe it. I used to hope that someone took a crap in the pool the night before so I didn't have to go in. I actually thought about that. I thought about doing one myself. But I knew I loved competing. I loved representing my country and doing that well. And I knew that the training had to be done. So when it gets hard, guys, just think about that goal at the end of the tunnel and it will be so much easier. Just stay focused, stay committed to what you want to be doing, and the process will be a lot easier. To finish up, guys, before we do the congrats, I think about sport, the best thing is that management between success and failure. It's always good to succeed. Success is great. It means if you've gone for something, you get it, you've won, you've succeeded. If you go for something, you don't get it, you try and make a team, kick a goal, don't win a final, you failed. Don't split hairs, you have, but there's nothing wrong with failing. I believe, and I'm a firm believer in this, we can learn more from our failures than we can from our successes, just like I did from Puff Puff, and I've had failed plenty more since then. I think it's best said in that movie Batman where, his house is burning down and, he says to Alfred, look, I don't want to be Batman anymore, I'm over it, it's hard. And Alfred said, why do we fall? And he said, well, I don't know. And he said, so we can learn to pick ourselves back up. And that's just what failing is, falling over, picking yourself up, going back again. Go back a second time, go back a third time if you have to. I guarantee you guys, the more you rectify something and work for something, you will get what you want. Congratulations, guys. Good luck, and thank you very much. Cheers.
How great was that? Sam Bramham. Lots to learn from that, but please, kids, do not smoke. Do not smoke. I've learned a lot from that. If I ever stuff up again, I'm going to blame my parents' procreation methods. We are live streaming to SEJ. And remember, if you win an award tonight and we have a photo on the phones, make sure you upload them, please. Hashtag SEJHQ. Get involved with that. We do have another guest here tonight, and he's going to present the first set of awards. It's in the female category. Would you please welcome to the stage a wonderful woman. Her name is Lou Watton. Lou. And Lou is here to assist with the presentation of the best conducted team for the girls. But first, I really do want to talk about this because this is something that I'm very, very passionate about, as well as Lou, obviously, and that is girls' football. Now, I'm very proud of my football club, the Melbourne Football Club, not for where we are on the ladder at the moment, obviously, but for what we've done in women's football. We have a very wonderful person that works at our club in Debbie Lee, and she has a lot to do with a lot of people out here. People in the room might know of her, but she has been one of the pioneers for women's football, and she instigated the very first sanctioned AFL women's game between the Melbourne Demons and the Western Bulldogs, played on the MCG last year and again this year at Etihad Stadium. Girls in the room, if you play football, one day you could play on the MCG. Living proof right here, played for Melbourne, and we won both those games. I'll say that again. Melbourne won both those games. Sounds like the last 5 years for the senior men's side. Lou, congratulations on playing in an AFL sanctioned game. How did it feel representing the Melbourne Football Club as a female?
Those two Melbourne matches were absolutely fantastic. I was a Melbourne supporter all my life. Growing up, back when I was growing up, there was no chance for women to play for an AFL club. So for myself and many of my teammates, to actually be able to play for an AFL club was a dream we never thought could be possible.
What sort of things did you do? I mean, did you come under any fire from people say girls can't play football and all that prejudice? Did you have to push through that? What did you do to get to that point of playing the MCG?
No one ever told me that girls couldn't play football. Often when I was asked what sport did I play and I did say football, they'd say, oh, soccer. And I say, no, AFL. And they say, oh, does it hurt to mark the ball? Are the rules the same? And, I think it's great nowadays that when girls say they play football, that a lot of people know there's an AFL or a women's league out there now. To get from that early stage, I wasn't the most skillful player, so listening to Sam's speech about hard work and effort, that's what I had to do. I had to really work away at my strengths, and that was fitness. And I was lucky enough to get picked up by Melbourne last year.
And personally now, I believe you're retiring this year. How many games did you play firstly, and who did you play for? Premierships, best and fairest, anything like that? And what are you going to do now you've finished playing football? You got any other sport aspirations?
Yeah, I played football for 13 years, so I didn't start playing until I was 18. I played 182 club games for the Eastern Devils based in Mulgrave. I was lucky enough to pull on the Big V jumper 6 times. I think I won 4 club best and fairests and a couple of league best and fairests. And because I play in the ruck, it's taken a bit of toll on the body. And I'm actually concentrating now on triathlons, and I'm going to do my first Ironman in Melbourne in March.
I'm not actually really enjoying standing next to you because you're nearly taller than me. It's not a good look for me. But before we present the awards, just lastly, some words of wisdom for the girls in the room that are playing in Aussie rules football game at the moment. People saying to them they shouldn't play football. Words of wisdom for them.
The girls in the room, you've got a great opportunity. As I said, I didn't start playing until I was 18. Looking at the youth girls competition nowadays, the skills are absolutely fantastic. So keep at it. You can do whatever you want to do. Don't let other people put you down. And as I said, make sure you work really, really hard. Women's football is getting very exciting, and this is just the beginning. And we're hoping in the near future there'll be more than just the Melbourne Demons and Western Bulldogs as AFL clubs, and we want to get a national league happening, and you girls in the room can be the future for that.
Lou Watton, ladies and gentlemen, give her a big round of applause. How inspirational is that? Now, Lou, I'll get you to present the very first award, the award for the Youth Girls Best Conducted Team, and the winner is... Oh, the anticipation. McDonald's again, can you believe it? It's everywhere. Best Conducted Team goes to Officer JFC. Come on up. Do you have any representatives from Officer JFC? Up the back, yeah? I feel like I should tell a joke or something. Over here to Lou. Another big clap, ladies and gentlemen, please. Officer JFC. The next award, Premier 1, Best Conducted Team, goes to... Oh, Premier 2, sorry, Premier 2. Premier 2, Best Conducted Team, Berwick Blue. Come on up. Berwick Blue, anyone? I don't think we have any representatives from Berwick Blue. No one here to claim an award? I'll have it. It's been a while. No, here we come. It's kind of like, you go, no, you go. I want to go, you go. This is going to be the way it runs tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The players or the representatives of clubs will come up, have a photo over in front of the sign over here, so prepare yourselves for that. girls and boys in the room. When you come up, it'll go like this, handshake, go over, have a photo, and I'm sure those photos will be available a little bit later on. Okay, so next award, Inspirations Premier 1 Best Conducted Team goes to Beaconsfield Blue. Come on up, Beaconsfield. Someone from Beaconsfield. No, you go. No, you go. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for women's football. And big round of applause for Lou Watton as well. Thank you very much, Lou. Is that?
And then now you've got the top 10.
And now let's go to the top 10 best and fairest winners. Youth Girls top 10. Can you read through those? I can't see from all the way back there. Jessie Deacon, Georgia Gourlay, Taylor Jacobs, Jessica O'Connell, Taylor O'Hagan, Kayla Rapari, I hope I get them right, Bonnie Ross, Emily Rylance, Tegan Sheldon, Carly Tapner and Hayley Wilds. Big round of applause. Come on up, girls, please, come up. All those girls, please come to the stage and receive thy prize. Straight to the photo, girls. Should I just go straight into it? Yep. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The announcement of the runner-up, best and fairest. Well, third best and fairest. I'm going beautifully. Hayley Wilds from Cranbourne. Hayley. Congratulations, Hayley. Now we'll go second best and fairest. The winner is Taylor O'Hagan from Officer JFC with 20 votes. And now, girls, the winner, best and fairest for youth girls, is Emily Rylance from Mornington Youth Girls with one more vote, 21 votes. Looks like a ruckman also. Congratulations, girls. Make your way over to the board there and let's have a photo. While they're doing that, I'll introduce the next person to come up on stage. Louise Huisman. I hope I'm getting that right. I haven't been told. I should have asked. I'm going to invite Sam back up. Sam, come back up. Don't swear or talk about cigarettes or anything like that. Come back up, mate. You like stairs? You love stairs. Of course you do. So Sam's going to... Okay. What are we moving on to? Top 10 to... Okay, we're about to announce the top 10 for Premier 2. Go for it. So all those people named up there, please make your way as I read them out. Jared Atkinson, Jesse, I'm not going to say that, Lachlan Cummins, Joshua Martin, Zachary McDonald, Declan O'Donnell, Jack Charlesian, Lee Tannehill, Dylan Webber and Kyle Woodard. I don't have the names in front of me. I haven't had practice. I'm learning straight away. Come on up, guys. Give them a clap. Good work, boys. So we're going for third best and fairest? Yeah. All right, top 3, here we go. Third best and fairest for Premier 2. Lee Tannehill, Narry Warren JFC, 13 votes. Well done, Lee. Coming in second, best and fairest for Premier 2, Lachlan Cummins from Endeavour Hills JFC, 17 votes. And the winner of the best and fairest for Premier 2 is Declan O'Donnell from Cranbourne JFC on 23 votes. Well done. Now, Nick Crook is here going to interview the winner, Declan O'Donnell from Cranbourne. Make your way over to the left there and let's hear about your season and how you won the best and fairest.
Firstly, congratulations, Declan. How'd you feel coming in tonight? Were you confident?
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous actually. Big drought and all. Yeah, just happy to be here, to be honest. I think making the top 10 is a massive achievement, and I didn't really mind where I placed.
And as far as your own game throughout the season, do you have a favourite player you watch, someone you try to emulate your game like? How have you seen yourself, and do you try and play like someone in particular that we might all know?
Yeah, I'd go for Collingwood, so yeah, definitely probably Scott Pendlebury. Probably someone I look up to a lot, but yeah, that's a
bit of a silky smooth tall midfielder yourself there. So the boys are out this season. Next season, what do you think Pies' chance for the top 8? Are we going to get back in or not?
Let's hope so.
Well done, congratulations.
Well done, guys. Brilliant. Make your way over and have a photo, guys, in front of... Stay there. Declan, the rest of you have a photo. As we'll move on to the next, we can see how they finish there, all the place getters and the numbers. All right, moving on. Sam. Keep Sam up. You're going to stay here all night, mate. You're right. One leg. You be right on one leg all night? Yeah, great. Need some sauce at all? No. All right. Inspirations Premier 1, top 10 place getters. Matthew, well, I'm going to read them out, but you can see your name there. Please comment up. Matthew Allender, Dan Koinu, Daniel Hellier, Jordan Hill, Marcus Hole, Gamuchu Kabato, Walketi Lafew, it's hard to read on this angle, Cade Lynch, Jordan Marson, James McLean, Bailey Morris, Jared Peen McKean, Joe Rout, Ayan Rastimi and Cooper Shepherd. Sorry if I got your name wrong, guys. Give them a big clap. For everyone here, I do apologise if I get your name wrong. I don't have the names in front of me. It's all a big secret. Put up there for the first time. Okay. Well, wait till they get their certificates. Again, about 15 of them taller than me. Probably only 15 years of age, are they? What the hell do you feed these kids these days? You're obviously doing it right. You're doing it right. Okay, we're going to go for the top 3. Inspirations Premier 1, third best and fairest goes to Matthew Allender, Noble Park, JFC on 15 votes. Well done, mates. Let's go to the second best and fairest, and the winner is Jordan Marson, Noble Park, JFC, 19 votes, very close. And Premier 1 best and fairest winner 2014 is Dan Koinu, Beaconsfield, JFC, on a huge 27 votes. And head your way over to Nick over there. The rest of the boys, hang tight. We're going to have a photo.
Well done, Dan. I hope my research is correct. You've just come off a premiership as well. You've premiership, best and fairest. You've had a pretty good year. How was the premiership?
Yeah, I had a great year. Premiership was great. Went through undefeated. Yeah, it was a great win.
So you've got a premiership. You've got best and fairest. You've pretty much clocked the league. What are you going to do now?
Have a rest, I reckon.
Do you have any goals for next year? You know, once you've won your individual age group here, you've won the premiership. So next year in football, what are you going to look forward to do in football?
Playing seniors next year will be a good experience, and yeah, try and see how far I can go in there.
Good luck next year.
Jump over and have a photo, guys. Have a photo. Push over. And please, ladies and gentlemen, thanks Sam Bramham for coming up and presenting those awards tonight. Another clap for him as he makes his way off stage. Legend. Okay, it's time now, after the photo's done there, to introduce the Coach of the Year. I'd like to introduce to the microphone General Manager Sean Connell, who's standing right behind me, to talk a little bit about the coach and the way it's awarded.
Thanks, Russell. We'll just wait for the boys to exit the stage there. But my job tonight is to talk about the Coach of the Year, and Southeast Juniors has been committed to, I guess, changing the way that we view our coaches and the way that we educate our coaches. We're working very closely with AFL Victoria in at head office and also on a regional level to try and change the way that we deliver coach education and the way that we influence behaviours of coaches and players. One of the things that we're working with at the moment is the education and working closer with club coaching coordinators. We're also working to implement with Beehive some leadership programs around developing young coaches aged between 16 and 20 years of age, which we hope to roll out prior to Christmas. Tonight, I'm here to present and award the Junior and Youth Coach of the Years, and these have been nominated by the clubs through a nomination process. The Coach of the Year for the Juniors, from the Noble Park Junior Football Club, under-12 coach Andrew Campbell. Andrew, as Andrew comes up, Andrew has been coaching at Noble Park Junior Football Club for 5 years and has a very extensive preparation to his training and has players, make sure that the players of varying abilities are catered for. He has a belief and true reflection of his coaching and wants to see the improvement of players not only throughout the season but on a week-to-week basis. He's spent a lot of time in developing his knowledge of the game to further enhance his coaching. He's implemented training programs that builds on each individual's skills with positive reinforcement. Andrew's team is made up of many different nationalities, socio-economic backgrounds, and which has made Andrew a very all-rounded coach. Andrew has run AFL Kids First programs and racial vilification programs with his sides. He's also worked with players and parents to encourage them to be supportive of our umpires and officials and understands the importance that they all play in our game. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Campbell.
Congratulations, Andrew. I wasn't aware I was doing this, so I have no notes. Just want to talk us through, your season, how you went about doing it. Obviously, you're great at what you do. So, what's one of the big things for you as a coach?
Community inclusion. We've got a very multicultural area, same as Dandy North and Keysborough, Parkmore. It's very difficult in our area. We've got very multicultural kids, and it's great to include them in the community.
A lot of coaches over the years, they develop a coaching philosophy, one thing they try and sort of implement into everyone that comes sort of through their club. Do you have any sort of overriding factor you like your players to have walked out the door having learned?
Teamwork and inclusion.
Basically the same thing. Yeah. And so next year, you're going to go around again?
I'm actually, hopefully not. Next year I'm president of the club, so I'm trying not to do too much in 1 year.
Thanks very much. Maybe the last time winning Coach of the Year. Cheers.
Thanks, Nick. Now moving on to the Youth Coach of the Year. Now, mind you, these nominations will be forwarded as representatives of Southeast Juniors in the Regional Coach of the Year Awards. From the Beaconsfield Youth Girls team, Troy Robertson. Troy has coached Auskick for 4 years prior to being appointed coach